All right, so on this one, we're going to talk about like trying to get the athlete in a figure four position to palpate the lateral collateral ligament. It's really easy to palpate. It's like a huge cord, and I'm actually on it right here. Of all things, hey, my drawing's almost pretty correct, but it's a nice thick cord. It's almost like a pencil, it can be that thick on some people. And so you follow that joint line, and once you get into that middle of the joint line, you'll feel like this very, again, thick cord. I know my, athlete right here, he can feel me do that with my index finger. So if you kind of look again where I'm right in that joint line area, and I'm right over the ligament, it feels like a pretty thick cord. Put him in a figure four position, or you could, actually then take this here, we'll go where, hold on to that, where we actually put them right like that, and then do the same thing where you can just come into that area and palpate that area. The other thing applies where we can actually even get to is MCL the same way in this position where I follow that medial femoral condyle, the round part, and I'm like, ooh, wow, I'm right into that joint line space. I feel it with my thumb, and you can actually feel like it feels like a little bit of a berm almost, and then you're over that medial collateral ligament, and then below that, obviously, then is going to be your medial meniscus. So again, I kind of use this position where I get to which I'm going to go over. You don't have to move with the camera, but where I can go ahead and palpate, which I'm right on, is lateral collateral right here, and then I come this way and I try to get into that medial joint line and feel, for his medial collateral, and then I'm back up where I can get to that adductor tubercle, which always seems to kind of make people really feel wonderful, and then into that pes area right off that medial flare of the tibia. And this is also that area too where that sometimes that medial collateral ligament, it may mimic, meaning, or there may be a medial collateral injury, or actually not an injury, to where maybe then that pes region's a little flared up. And so that might then mimic some MCL issues. So you actually have to know, again, your history and what you're dealing with, because I've had this where I've had the egg beaters with the like water polo players, where it looked like it was going to be an MCL thing, and it ended up being kind of like some irritation of that pes anserine area, okay? So that's kind of like the figure four, how to use that to palpate your lateral collateral and then your medial collateral.